Hello, boys and girls. Greg here again from the Scary Spirits podcast. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Skeleton Key cocktail, which is the cocktail featured in today's episode. I'm going to start with a Collins glass with ice. To that, we're going to add 1 1/4 ounces bourbon whiskey. Close enough. I'm going to add 3/4 of an ounce elderflower liqueur. We're going to add 1/2 ounce lemon juice. Next, we're going to top off our drink with ginger beer. Like so. And then we garnish with bitters. With a straw. And there you go. The Skeleton Key cocktail. Yeah, it's pretty good. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Everyone knows if Vincent Price is throwing a party, it's going to be a real banger. Guns' party favors, hangings, hauntings, shootings, and as an extra special bonus, a big old vat of acid in the basement. All in a house on Haunted Hill. And lucky you're invited to the party. Join us for episode number 26 of the Scary Spirits podcast to find out who survives the night. We're rooting for you. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So if you're ready, let's go.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hi, I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast, a podcast that combines the two very different yet highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully not too many things.
Hopefully. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm okay.
Well, that's good.
I don't think there is anything that we need to correct or any omissions from last week's, Karen. Do you?
I'm not sure, but if anybody knows of any, they can certainly let us know.
Yes. Email us at info@scaryspirits.com and let us know if we made any errors.
But what if they want to just talk to me?
Karen, they can email you at Karen@scaryspirits.com. Funny how that works.
It is very specific. And what if they want to yell at you?
To yell at me, you can send an email to greg@scaryspirits.com.
Sounds very professional.
Yes.
That's us. Professional.
Indeed. I believe this film was my choice.
Yes, it was your choice.
Okay. So the film I have chosen is House on Haunted Hill from 1959, Karen.
No, I don't remember 1959.
Either. Might you have a brief synopsis of this film for us, Karen?
I do. I have a very brief synopsis.
Well, please share.
Shall I lay it on you?
Yep.
House on Haunted Hill. A millionaire offers $10,000 to 5 people who agree to be locked in a large, spooky, rented house overnight with him and his wife.
Accurate.
It is accurate, yes. Little sketchy on detail, but accurate.
Yes, and we do have a cocktail for this film, Karen.
And what would that be?
I chose the Skeleton Key cocktail.
You want to tell everyone how to make it?
Sure. We're going to need 1 1/4 ounces bourbon whiskey.
Woohoo!
Not 1.5, not 1 1 1/4. Again, I don't get it. Next, we're going to need 3/4 of an ounce elderflower liqueur. We're going to need a 1/2 ounce freshly squeezed lemon juice from the plastic lemon.
Well, in your house, mine's actually real. Mine are real.
Thanks for sharing, Karen.
Just my lemons.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a long one.
We're going to need 3 to 5 ounces of ginger beer. I used the non-alcoholic version.
Can you tell I used the alcoholic version?
And then we're going to need bitters, 8 dashes.
It's a lot of bitters.
Yep. The instructions say build the bourbon, elderflower liqueur, and lemon juice in a Collins glass filled with ice. I guess that means you all put it together. That's how you build it. I don't know.
One at a time, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Then you top off the glass with the ginger beer. And then finally, you garnish with the 8 dashes of bitters. And the bitters actually stay on the top pretty much, which is pretty cool.
I stirred mine, so didn't say stir, but I did.
Pretty good. I do get
it
the
is
whiskey.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Serve with a straw and enjoy, Karen.
It is good. It's the first time I've ever had the elderflower.
And I found this on the spruceeats.com. Should we give our listener time to make their own cocktail?
Go make it, listener.
This one or any other. I don't care. Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
I have no reason for picking this cocktail other than, Skeleton Key sounded like it might fit with a haunted house movie.
Have you ever seen this movie?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
You?
No.
It had fallen into the public domain, so it's one of those that you see all the time around Halloween, which is probably why it was free on Amazon.
Did you watch the color or the black and white?
I watched the original black and white version, Karen. Which did you choose?
I chose the black and white also. Although I'm curious to watch a little bit of the color to see what they did. What color are the dresses and shoes and,
yes,
those important details that I like.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I might watch it tonight later again in color.
Just a little bit to see, are they pastel? Are they jewel colored? What are they? I do see it on often around Halloween. I've just never watched it. Never caught it at the beginning, which is what I would want to do. And I really impressed with it, actually. I liked it.
Okay. Are you ready to get into it?
Yep, let's go.
I actually have the color version playing right now on my other screen.
Well, when they get to the clothes, tell me what colors they're wearing.
All right, Karen. The film opens with smoking, alcohol use, foul language, and violence, Karen.
Well, those are all in there. Well, foul language? I don't remember foul language. Do you?
He called the drunk guy a sot. Is that foul?
Oh, well. NC-17.
Yes. We start with screams, groans, and what I called haunted house sounds.
Yeah, it's a black screen, and it
Yep.
sounds like somebody put in one of those tapes, that you used to buy that said haunted house
Chilling
sounds.
sounds of the haunted
Yes,
house.
exactly. You're right.
And then we see, I guess, the owner of the house, just his head.
Just his head floating there.
Yeah. Talking about how the house is haunted and his brother and his wife were killed there. His brother and his brother's wife were killed there, and how it's haunted. And
Yeah, 7 people were murdered there, and he's only spent one night there. And in the morning, he was almost dead.
And then Vincent Price's head pops in the same kind of way, right?
Yeah, floating.
And he describes the party that is going to happen.
He and his wife are giving a haunted house party.
Well, it's his wife's party, apparently. He keeps
Yeah,
saying
he does say that often. But it has a very interesting prize.
Yeah, if you spend the night there, you will get $10,000, Karen.
$10,000. Which in 1959.
I was just about to ask. Do you know how much
wanna-
that was in 59 money?
I do.
How much?
$92,000.
All right, so almost 100
Almost.
grand.
Yeah. To spend the night. I'd be up for trying that.
Well, the guests all arrive in what Vincent calls a funeral procession.
Yeah, he called them funeral cars. Do you know what that is?
Well, the first car was a hearse.
Right. And after that, they all arrive in what they call funeral cars, which I didn't know what that meant.
No, I don't know.
Black cars? Must be
guess.
something.
I don't know. And then we're kind of introduced to each of the guests in their cars, their name and what they do. And basically they all need the money, right?
Do you want to know who they are?
Well, I know one's a psychiatrist. That's no, first we see Lance. He's the jet. I know he's the jet pilot.
Yeah, Lance is the test pilot and he needs cash.
And then
Ruth,
we see the
newspaper columnist,
right?
who says she wants to write an article, but she's desperate for money because she gambles. Watson owns the house, Watson Pritchard, but he needs money. And Dr. David,
Psychiatrist.
yes, the ghost will help him work on hysteria, his field, but he has a touch of greed, is
Mhm.
what Vincent Price says. Nora works for Vincent Price and needs the cash because she supports her family. So those are the guests, plus
Yes.
Vincent Price and his wife, Annabelle.
So we're introduced to all of them, and then we have credits. And we see them pulling in to the house, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright house in like the Hollywood Hills or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know that's what it was, but it looked very modern. They could have used a picture of any house because none of the action takes place out there, and they chose a very modern one. I thought it was strange, that's all. I would have picked a castle-looking one, or something.
Right. So they all enter the house and they introduce themselves to each other because none of them know each other, and none of them know Vincent Price's character, Frederick Loren. Even though Nora works for him, she works at one of his companies and has never met him.
All they do know is that he's very wealthy and he's on his 4th wife.
Yes.
That's what they do know about him.
And as they're introducing themselves, a chandelier almost falls on the young girl who is Nora, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Lance springs into action and pulls her out of the way. And we see Vincent Price. I just call him Vincent Price the whole time. So
do I.
Vincent Price watches from the upstairs landing. He then goes into his wife's room and they have a little bit of a spat.
Yeah, they're prickly with each other. They're not happy.
They don't really like each other.
No. And he tells her the guests have arrived.
Like apparently she's tried to kill him in the past with arsenic or something.
Yeah. And she doesn't like how jealous he is all the time. So that's why they don't have any friends. And she keeps saying she's not going to the party. And he keeps telling her it's her party. And basically he accuses her of wanting all his money.
And she does. She
Pretty
doesn't
much.
deny it.
Nope.
So then Vincent goes down to meet the party guests and explains the rules of the evening.
When does Pritchard pull out the knife? Is that right before he pulls out a knife and says, this is what she used to kill everyone, hacked them to pieces and left them all over the house.
Yeah.
Because he makes a point that the heads have never been found.
They found hands and other body parts all over the place, but the heads have never been found.
He's talking to the other guests and then Vincent Price arrives. So do you want to tell him what the rules are in the house?
Well, the caretakers are leaving at midnight.
Yes.
They are locking the doors, and there's no way to get out until 8 a.m. when they return. And if they make it the whole night, they get $10,000, Karen.
They do. There's no electricity, no phone, so they can't call for help. And they do have a choice. If they decide by midnight they don't want to stay, they can leave.
Yes. And if one of them doesn't make it, one of them dies or whatever, they each split evenly $50,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're splitting $50,000 if one or two or three or whatever doesn't make it. And Vincent Price tells them that if he doesn't make it, his estate will pay them.
So that's basically rooting for other people to die so you can get more money.
Maybe.
Nice. Okay.
I guess you could look at it that way, Karen.
A cynical way.
If you were one to, do that.
If you were greedy.
So next, Pritchard takes them on a tour of the house because it's his house, right?
He owns it. Yeah. I don't think he's been there very much.
No. He's, like I said, he's only spent one night there.
And they don't really explain why he owns it, that I recall anyway.
Do you remember where the knife was, Karen?
No.
It was in the armrest of a chair. It opened up and he pulled out a knife.
Well, yeah. Isn't that where you keep yours?
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't catch that. Maybe you do catch a lot more when it's in color. I don't know. Because he pulled it from the armrest of a green chair.
Oh, is that in the X-ray?
No, it's on my other screen over here.
Oh, you're watching it now? Oh, okay.
I'm watching the colorized version. I'm already surprised at the colors of the clothes. Not what I pictured. I don't know what I pictured, but not that. Next, blood starts dropping on the columnist hand. What's her name?
Yeah, so the first stop in the tour is a blood stain on the ceiling.
Yes.
These are the high points of the house, a blood stain on the ceiling. So her name is Ruth, and it drips on her hand. And Pritchard says the ghost has marked her.
Yep. You're marked. Ruth likes her
spirits.
Vincent asked them all, before they go on the tour, he asked them all if they want drinks. He asked them several times if they want drinks. And she always says, what does she say? Scotch and. That's all she says.
Yeah, Scotch and.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm guessing soda. I don't know.
He does mix scotch with another decanter with a push button. He just pushes it and like a soap dispenser.
That's why I'm guessing it's soda.
Okay. But then they all go to the cellar.
Yeah, they do.
Where the original owner was trying to make wine and end up putting in a pit filled with acid. And did he kill his wife or something, the original owner? Yeah,
he pushed his wife in the vat of acid. He just put it there so he could push her in there.
And Pritchard conveniently finds a rat in a trap underneath one of the tables and drops it in to demonstrate how the acid eats flesh and muscle and everything but the bone. Right. So the rat skeleton floats up to the top.
Yeah, they make a point of saying that. Which, if you really threw something in a vat of acid, it would dissolve all the tendons and ligaments. And
not this acid, Karen. This is special acid.
So all the bones would float apart.
Yes.
Plus, it eventually would degrade the bones too. I read a little bit about gangsters and stuff that dissolve people with acid, which I'm sure tinged. Yes, made the government's ears perk up. But most people use lye, which is a base, not an acid.
Lye. Never mind. I'm not even going to go into asking you how you would do that. How would you dispose of a body, Dr. Karen?
Well, I'm not going to say that, but they do dispose of bodies at universities and stuff that have been used as cadavers and things. So there are ways to do it. But it's very difficult to get rid of everything. You're going to have pieces left.
So eventually everyone leaves to go back upstairs, except for Lance and Nora.
Yeah, they linger.
Lance wants to check the place out. He starts opening all the doors, all the closet doors in the room.
And he asks her why or how she got invited. And they're flirting basically a little bit.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. The last door he opens, he goes in and it shuts on him.
The door, yeah, closes
Yes.
and slams and
Nora,
locks.
yeah, slams and locks, and Nora can't get in. And she turns and sees an old hag from across the room come towards her on roller skates.
Yes. All the candles go out.
Well, they're not
Um,
candles, they're gas lights. But yes.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Because there's no electricity.
Oh, I was wondering how they do that. So they turn it off and they all go out. Gotcha. That
Yeah.
makes much more sense to me now. Because I was like, how is it just happen that all of the candles go out at the same time?
Yeah.
All right.
Turn
Yes.
the gas off and they all go out.
It does look like a ghost. White frizzy hair, crazy eyes, like white eyes almost, and all in black. And she is
Yep.
moving like she's on roller skates,
Yeah.
like she's floating.
So Nora runs upstairs to tell the others. Then they all run back downstairs to go look. And of course, now the door is open. It's unlocked. Yeah, Nora starts to open it and says, "We're going to need to break it down." And then she just pulls it open.
Yeah. And the lights are all back on.
Yes. And they go in and they find Lance on the floor with a bump on the head, bleeding from a bump on his head.
Yeah. He's got a pretty nasty little mark there. It's going to leave a mark.
Then the psychiatrist fixes Lance's head wound, bandages him up.
And says Nora is experiencing hysteria, which always makes me think of Def Leppard.
And then Lance tells Nora, "Meet me in the hallway."
And Ruth has another drink.
Yeah, another
Scotch and.
Scotch and
Mhm.
whatever that is. Lance and Nora go back to the cellar.
Yeah, which I wouldn't do, but whatever.
But Lance, he's a jet test pilot. He has no fear, I don't think.
But Nora's the one who saw the ghost.
True. But they go into the closet where Lance hit his head. They start banging on the walls and things, and has a strange sound in one section of the wall. And they go to the closet next to it. Lance steps off, whatever, and they discover there's a 3 feet gap in between the two closets inside the wall or some shit, right?
It looks like there are secret passageways down there. That's what's implied anyway. Nora sees the ghost again, what she thinks is the ghost.
Right.
And Lance,
It's in the room with
poo-poos
her this
her.
time.
yeah, but Lance,
And it rolls out on roller skates again. But Lance, she screams and Lance comes running in and he does not see it.
and he doesn't believe her. He poo-poos
can't.
her.
He
And
didn't
well, if
see
he
it.
didn't see it, it's not real. So she gets mad and stomps away, goes upstairs. And she runs into Annabelle.
Yes, Vincent Price's wife.
And Annabelle asks why she came, and Nora basically says cash dollars.
So what would you call that? What Annabelle is wearing? Karen, a gold lame,
It's probably gold lame.
bustier or whatever.
Yeah. It looks like
It is gold
lame.
lame, according
Okay.
to the colorized version.
she's fancy.
Yeah. What
But,
color
you
do you
know-
think the rest of her clothes that she's wearing over that gold lame are? If you had to guess,
I don't know. It looked light in the red.
it's purple.
Oh, that's close. Red's close to
Yeah.
purple. Probably purple velvet.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So Vincent's wife, Annabelle, right?
Yeah. Nora runs into Annabelle, and it's just kind of funny because Annabelle says, "Don't be alone again." And she must tell her 2 or 3 times to go fix her face. And she
Yes.
looks fine
Freshen
to
up.
me.
She's like,
Yeah.
freshen up.
But she says, "Fix your face." And she looks good. Nothing is out of place or anything.
No, but she does show her to her room and tells her to, fix your face,
Yes.
freshen up, and do not go anywhere in the house by herself.
Right.
Then Annabelle meets Lance and she shows him to his room.
Yeah. And she sits on his bed. She's a little bit of a flirt there. And she asks Lance if she's in danger, can she count on him? So she wants to be the damsel in distress. She's playing on Lance's
Help me,
need to.
Obi-Wan. Help me.
Yeah.
You're my only hope.
And well, she's worried her husband's going to kill her because she's his 4th wife, and the first one disappeared, and the second 2 died of heart attacks in their 20s.
In their 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be a little nervous too, myself.
I would too. So she leaves Lance's room, goes into the hallway, and hears Vincent coming. So she runs back to her room and starts brushing her long blonde hair. Vincent
Yeah.
enters and they have another little spat.
Yeah, they just don't seem to like each other very much.
Nope. And he eventually like pulls her hair and pretty much tells her, "You're going to the party," right?
Right. He's a little bit physically abusive and makes her agree to go to the party. This is where he points the champagne at her. He shook a bottle of champagne.
I think that was earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that might have been their first
That was
meeting.
in their first meeting because they did the whole thing of, I didn't poison it, and then he makes her.
Oh,
take the
he
first
makes her
drink.
drink. Yes. So they don't trust each other, basically.
No. So then Vincent Price goes and knocks on Lance and Nora's doors and tells them that it's almost midnight. Right, Karen?
Yeah, but so
Close to
yeah,
midnight.
it's close to midnight. That's what he says. Yeah.
It's close to midnight. Just like the Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, he wants everybody to gather in the living room.
Yep. And then for some reason, Nora goes to her suitcase before she leaves the room, opens it, and there's a head in it.
Yep.
It's not
So
really
she's
a suitcase.
found-
It's an overnight bag. It's a little.
It looks like a cosmetics case, but maybe she was going to fix her face. I don't know.
Again?
Freshen up.
So they all gather downstairs.
Well, wait, before that happens, she comes out of her room and there's curtains at the end of the hallway and they're kind of moving. I'm guessing they're purple. She goes in there and somebody grabs her, covers her mouth and says, "Come with us before he kills you."
Yeah.
And then she screams, runs away and goes down to the living room. And that's when she says she wants to leave. She doesn't want to stay.
But they are a very deep purple, very deep, like velvet too, as well. Then we see the caretakers, right?
Yeah, they come into the room.
And the caretakers are, the woman is who Nora saw earlier in the cellar. Apparently she's blind. So
Old and
her
blind,
eyes are
yeah.
white. And then the guy, her husband, is the guy who grabbed Nora behind the curtains and told her to get out before he kills her, right?
Yeah.
So then Annabelle enters, introduces herself, and Vincent again goes over the rules of the party.
And Nora keeps saying she wants to leave.
She does repeatedly. "I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay here."
But then they hear a door slam and they're locked in early.
Yes. So Vincent explains they're stuck there until 8 a.m. There's no way out.
Which I didn't figure out until maybe later why they were locked in early. But we'll revisit it in a little bit.
Okay.
But did you see the cool party favors?
Yeah. Well, I noticed the coffins on the table earlier.
I did too. Yeah. 7 miniature coffins.
Yes. Vincent's wife, Annabelle, says we do have party favors. And basically, he pulls what appears to me to be like a Colt 1911 45 caliber handgun, Karen, from each coffin.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And
But
hands it to him.
It's basically an Oprah. You get a gun and you get a gun and everybody gets a gun.
Yeah, and they're really not locked in that early. It's only like 5 till midnight.
I know, but Nora's saying she wants to leave.
She is.
And the door slam. And she still should have had time to leave.
And of course, Vincent Price shoots a vase on the fireplace and uses one round
to prove
and hands
that they
one
work.
to Pritchard. Yeah. So he's got one less round than the rest of them. I thought I just made a note of that at the time, thinking that might be important later, but maybe not.
And Doc says, very logically, guns are a bad idea.
Yeah.
And, Vincent Price is like, well, what do you mean?
I don't think I want Pritchard having a gun the way he's drinking.
Well, and Doc says, what if Nora had had a gun when the caretaker was downstairs?
Yeah.
She would have shot her.
Have a good caretaker.
I agree with Doc that guns as party favors, not such a good idea. I'm going to stick with that and say he's doing a good thing here.
Drinking and guns or
right at a small party when you're scared.
Yeah. You're scared.
Yeah.
Not a good thing. And the way they just like pointing at each other, just
willy-nilly,
just they know nothing of gun safety, any of them.
Well, and they don't know each other. So why would you trust any of them?
So then Nora takes them all upstairs to show them the head that is in her luggage.
You'd think she might have brought that up when she first got down there.
I know, but she waits until they all get a gun. Then they all go upstairs. But of course, the head's gone when they get up there, Karen.
Yep. And then she just screams for everyone to get out of her room. She's very stressed. They're picking on her.
Yes, and that's what the doctor thinks as well. The doctor thinks that Vincent is doing all this to her. So he tells him to stop scaring her. So next we find that Nora and Lance have adjoining rooms after she yells at them to just get out, get out, get out. Right.
But Lance doesn't listen.
No, he knocks on Nora's room, but Nora does not answer. So he just goes in anyway.
Yeah, because, that's what you do.
Yeah, she wouldn't be in there changing or nothing or fixing
Or
her
maybe
face.
she doesn't want to see him. Maybe she just doesn't want to see anyone.
Maybe. So he enters, but Nora is gone and her door is wide open.
Well, the closet door opens.
Yeah, the closet door opens
on its own. All these doors are opening on their own and closing on their own, and no one seems fazed by it. They're just like, oh, a door opened. I should go over there and see what's in the closet.
Yes. And what is in the closet, Karen?
Well, the head.
The head hanging from a hook on in the closet.
And he
It's a real
carries it
head.
out.
I don't think it's a real head. It looks kind of fake.
Well, Greg, this is movie magic.
I know, but then he runs downstairs and confronts Pritchard with it. And the way he does it is like he accuses him of doing it because the head's obviously fake or something. That's the feeling
Well,
I got.
I don't know. It didn't look obviously fake or obviously real. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't
Yeah.
tell what they were going for.
But while they're down there, they hear a scream.
And Pritchard says the ghosts have Nora.
So then Lance runs up the stairs and we see what appears to be a woman hanging.
You see a pair of feet
Yes, in a white
off the ground.
negligee or sleeping thing. I don't know.
Nightgown.
Nightgown, but not a granny gown.
No. And they're standing there looking at her. I'm like,
It's actually
Cut it.
blue.
oh, cut her down.
And they do. They cut her down.
Eventually, yes.
The doctor comes out and springs into action and tells Lance to cut her down. And they carry her into the bedroom. And that's when they both look down and expecting it's Nora, but it isn't, is it, Karen?
No, it's Annabelle.
Poor Annabelle.
But he's a terrible doctor. He doesn't even take her pulse or anything. He's just like, she's dead.
Yeah, Vincent comes running in and he says, she's dead, whatever your name is, Vincent Price.
Mr. Lauren.
Yes. So then, as Lance leaves the room, he sees those deep purple curtains at the end of the hall move. And he heads towards them. And then he finds Nora around the corner. And Nora grabs him and tells him that Vincent Price tried to kill her, tried to strangle her, left her for dead. Right?
That's what she thinks.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
And Lance just tells her, well, if he thinks you're dead, you just need to stay in your room, lock your door, and he won't come looking for you if he assumes you're dead. He can't see you anymore. He has to assume you're dead, right?
Right. One down.
Yes.
Two now, I guess.
Yes.
So the cash dollars prize is going up.
So the psychiatrist tells everyone he wants to have a meeting in the living room.
Yeah. Lance tells Nora to lock herself in the room because everyone thinks she's dead.
Yeah.
Very casually. Nobody seems to mind that Nora's dead or Annabelle's dead, whatever.
Well, no one knows she's supposed to be dead except for Lance and whoever tried to kill her.
And whoever tried to kill her. But Vincent Price is not upset at all that Annabelle is gone.
No, he did not shed a tear, I noticed.
No.
He's very calm and cool, as Vincent Price is.
True.
But he does go to visit his wife's body, and he finds Pritchard in there, and he chokes him and tells him never to come in there again. Right?
I guess.
He does.
Oh, yeah, because he's protecting her from the
Yeah,
ghosts.
right. He's trying to protect
But
her body.
sorry.
or whatever.
And Vincent kicks him out.
They all go down to the living room and have a family meeting and try to figure a way out.
Yeah, they can't get out of the house, and there's 6 hours left. So it's basically 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
And Vincent wants to know how his wife got up so high to hang herself.
Correct.
Because
There's nothing to jump off of, no ladder, no nothing.
Right. So
She could have climbed up on the
yeah, there was a railing
banister,
right there.
the railing.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought of that when he said that, but
But basically, he's implying she was murdered. It wasn't a suicide
yes.
by one of the guests or himself.
Yeah, of course, if it's a suicide, he doesn't get any insurance money, probably.
I don't know. I
Anyway.
don't know. If you've researched that, you've got a ting too.
Just from all the crime shows I've watched, that's what I've learned.
It's always the husband. Way.
It's always the spouse. So then they try to deduce who killed Annabelle. I think the doctor says it might probably be best each one of us stayed in our rooms the rest of the night alone.
Right. To protect themselves from each other. It's a good
They each
idea.
have a gun.
Right.
And one or two of them say, anyone comes to the door, I'm shooting. So
it's a good idea.
yeah, good idea. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Well, more to be alone and not let anyone in your room. I mean, ghosts can go through walls, but people certainly can't. So, well, maybe they're secret passageways, but you know what I mean.
Yes. So then they're all in their rooms, locked in their rooms, and someone tries to open the psychiatrist's door. The knob turns, and he goes to open it, and of course, there's no one there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either. If my door's deadbolted, what do I care if anyone's trying to open it?
I mean, I guess they could shoot through the door, so I wouldn't be where the door was, but
Pretty sure there's a keyhole. I might put my eye down there and look.
no way, they'd shoot your eyeball. I would just be on the floor.
Oh, looking under?
Well, looking for shadows but staying low so that I'm not shot.
Okay.
Learn that in Baltimore. Get down on the ground.
And then once again, blood drips on the newspaper columnist's hand. Apparently she's in the room with the blood on the ceiling too.
I guess.
Because it drips on her hand again.
Yeah, it's weird.
Then Lance goes to Nora's room again.
Lance breaks the rules and goes to Nora.
He's going to try to find a way out.
Rules don't apply to him. He's going to go try to find a way out.
Correct. And that Nora should stay there and keep the door locked, and he will come back for her if he finds a way out.
And he does. He finds a secret door.
He does.
But it closes right behind him.
Yeah. And we don't see Lance for a while after that.
Yeah. But we do see Nora.
And there's a thunderstorm.
Yep. And the lights go
Suddenly.
out in her room.
Yeah. Lights go out in Nora's room, and a rope comes through the window and begins to wrap itself around her feet.
She just stands there.
Yes. With her feet standing at attention.
Yes.
And
I just was, move.
And here's where I made a note. Shoes? Question mark. Karen. What'd you think of those shoes?
Just normal black pumps, nothing special.
And then we see
normal secretary shoes.
And we see
not
Annabelle.
that that's bad. It's just that's what they are.
Yes.
And then Annabelle's floating outside her window.
Floating outside the window somehow.
So the rope is coming in. It's a big, thick rope. The rope looks like the one you had to climb in gym class. You know, it's a big, thick rope. And somehow it's snaking in through, because all the windows have bars on them, so they can't leave.
Yes.
And it's snaking through the bars straight towards her, towards Nora, and then makes a circle around her ankles.
Yes.
While she stands there, I guess frozen in terror.
I guess, yeah. And then just as quickly as it wrapped around her, it unwraps and
goes back out the window.
Goes back out the window. I think it's
very snake-like, but
that's how they did that. They filmed it with it wrapped around her, and then they pulled it back, and then they just reversed the footage for it coming.
Oh,
in.
that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how she's floating outside though.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, she's supposed to be a ghost.
Yeah. So Nora grabs her gun and runs out. And she runs out to see Annabelle hanging above the stairs again.
Yep.
And then a hand comes out from behind and starts to grab Nora. And she runs down the stairs.
They're really going after Nora.
They are.
She's looking for Lance.
Yeah, she's yelling for Lance.
Yeah.
She goes downstairs and back into the living room, it looks like, and there's an organ in there, and it starts playing all by itself.
And then Vincent Price opens his door and sees the doc walking around with his gun. So basically, no one is staying in their room but the columnist.
The columnist.
Yes, she's
She's
the only
probably still
one.
wiping the blood off her hand.
Right. She's the only one that has a reason to leave her room. There's blood dripping on her. I would leave the room, find another one. Everyone else just leaves their room. But Vincent and the doctor have a heart to heart.
At gunpoint, yes.
Yes.
Doctor convinces Vincent that maybe they should divide and search the house because doctor says either there's someone else in this house or one of the people have left the rooms, because he's hearing footsteps and they both hear the organ and all that stuff going on, right?
Right. So they do split up to see what's going on.
Yes. And the doctor tells Vincent, you take the upstairs, I'll take the downstairs.
And he waits for Vincent to leave.
But then what does the psychiatrist do, Karen?
He sneaks into Vincent's room.
Yes, he doubles back. And goes
opens
to
the curtains.
Annabelle's room. He goes to
Right.
Annabelle's room. It's not Vincent. They're in separate rooms.
Are they in separate
They
rooms?
are,
I couldn't
yeah.
tell.
They are.
But she's on a bed that has curtains around the bed, a canopy bed, I guess they call it.
Purple curtains.
And he opens the curtains and there's Annabelle.
Annabelle, she looks so peaceful, like she's sleeping.
She does. And he says, it's almost over, darling. Every
Yes.
detail was perfect. And I'm going to say,
And her chest heaves.
right,
She takes a breath.
they're in cahoots.
That's exactly what I said. She and this psychiatrist are in cahoots. That's what I wrote.
Me too.
She's
They got
alive.
me. I mean, I didn't know if she was dead or not, but I didn't peg that she and the doctor.
No.
Were you surprised? Oh, you saw it before.
Well, I've seen it
so-
before, but not enough that I remember exactly what happens.
It was a good twist. I was not expecting it.
Basically, they're trying to get Nora to kill Vincent. They're terrorizing her so much, scaring her so much that when Vincent walks in, she's going to shoot him because she's going to be so scared, right?
Right. That's their plan. And it appears to be working. And this is why I wonder if you go back to the door being slammed 5 minutes early, because Nora wants to leave. Like she says, I'm out. And this is their whole plan, is to break her. So she commits the crime. She murders Vincent Price. So I think with her wanting to leave, they make the doors close early so she can't. Because if she leaves, the whole plan is off.
So I know Annabelle is very concerned about whether the plan is going to work or not.
Doc's confident. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like she says something about the caretakers, but he says they don't know what's going on. But apparently do you think they told him to leave early?
They might have, change of plans, go now or something.
So Annabelle and the doctor hug and kiss.
Yes, they do.
And then we
Just
see
to-
poor Nora in the cellar.
Yeah. Why would she go back to the cellar?
I have a lot more to say about poor Nora, just so you know later.
Okay.
Yeah, she goes back down to the cellar, handgun in hand.
And the candles, I called them again. The lights go
Yes.
out.
The gas lights go out, and Vincent comes in to the room, and she shoots him.
She does. She shoots him just like they planned
Then the psychiatrist comes in,
and opens the acid vat.
opens the acid pit in the floor.
Yeah. So it's got it. There's a pit
Well,
in
he
the
does.
floor.
The psychiatrist does tell Annabelle, when you hear the gunshot, come to the cellar, right?
What gunshot?
The gunshot when Nora shoots Vincent.
Oh, he tells Annabelle to do that. Yes. But so just to kind of explain for the listeners, there's a vat of acid, but it is covered with, what do you think it is?
A large
steel
wooden,
something.
whatever.
It looks wooden, but wood would dissolve.
This acid only dissolves flesh, Karen.
Okay. Gotcha. But there's a kind of there's a wheel that you
It
have
is
to
wooden.
turn
Yeah.
so that it will lift up. Obviously it's heavy. You can't just walk
Yeah.
over and lift it. It has to be
Right. There's
like
a rope attached to it with a pulley.
a block and tackle.
Correct.
So the doc opens it.
Yeah. Nora runs out of the room as soon as she runs back upstairs, as soon as she shoots Vincent. And the doc,
Once she's committed murder, she runs back upstairs.
and the
Yes.
doc comes in and opens the acid vat and drags Vincent to the edge, and then the
The
lights go out.
screen.
Goes
Yeah, the
dark,
screen goes
and
dark.
we hear someone bubbling in acid.
Yep.
But we don't know who, Karen. We
No,
don't know
don't.
what happened.
But we think it's Vincent.
Well, we know it's not Nora, and we know it's not Annabelle because she comes down in her sheer baby blue nightgown.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that part.
It's not that great.
Oh, well, she looked like a Hitchcock blonde. So,
Yeah, she's all right.
all right.
So she comes down just in time.
Well, she's calling for David.
Yes.
That's the doctor's name.
And the door closes behind her on its own. All the other doors in the room close on their own. And then she sees a skeleton starts to come out of the acid pit.
Yep.
A skeleton from the anatomical chart company or whatever it is, because it's
real. I mean, it's a real human skeleton.
But it's
Yeah.
got a hole drilled in the top of
It
its
does
head,
have a hole
and its
drilled.
cranium is cut.
Yep.
And it's got little strings and things keeping it together.
Yep.
Right?
Well, yeah.
So whatever. Skeleton
it's-
comes out and starts walking towards her.
Very puppet-like.
Yes, and we hear Vincent's voice. Did you make a note of what Vincent said?
Something about he played the game too, or something. Was that?
Yeah, if you played your game of murder, you didn't know I was playing too, or something.
So he knew about the plan all along.
Yes, apparently.
But I'm thinking, why he was shot? How is he standing there? So,
Well, he's not standing there yet. It's the skeleton.
oh, that's true.
And the skeleton comes towards her and walks towards her
Oh yeah, I
like it
forgot.
has
Sorry.
muscles and everything
Yep.
and ligaments and can move. It puts its hand on her shoulder and kind of like backs her up to the pit of
Well,
acid.
she's backing up because she's afraid, and then it's like a cartoon. It kind of like, how you'd go boink with your finger because she's right on the edge. It kind of puts its hand on her shoulder, and that's all she wrote. Into the vat she tumbles.
So she screams and goes into the vat of acid. She gone. And then Vincent comes out, and we see he has this elaborate
Puppet master.
yeah, mannequin strings thing.
Yeah, he's the puppet master. He was making the skeleton walk,
He was making it move and everything.
and he knew all the plans.
Right. So then we see Nora next, and she finds the others, and the others are like trying to find Lance in that secret passage. They're all at that door.
But they get him out, right?
Yeah. And then they
Yeah.
all go back down to the cellar. Well, Nora tells them that she shot Vincent, and they all go down to find him standing there alive.
Which is good for her.
Yeah, good for her. And Vincent tells him that he put blanks in Nora's gun. So that's why he ain't shot, Karen.
Well, yeah, I know that now.
Okay.
But at the time, I was thinking, how is he walking around? He got shot.
He tells them that the doctor tried to put him in the acid and he fell in, and so did his wife, Annabelle.
Yeah, he explains they were trying to kill him and they failed.
Yes, and he says he's ready to be judged by a jury of his peers, if it comes to that.
And Pritchard looks in the vat. Nobody seems all that concerned that two people got thrown in a vat of acid. They're like, oh, okay, we believe you. And
Well,
Pritchard
there's
looks
four of them now, so they split $50,000.
right, more for them. Pritchard looks in the vat and says, now there are 9.
Yes.
So he's added 2 more.
And then he says, they're coming for me now. Then they'll come for you. And we hear laughter and we see the door close. The end.
The end.
Credits.
Dun, dun, dun. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
I did too.
I like Vincent Price, especially when he has a role like that. It's made for him. He plays that character a lot, but I really enjoyed it. I knew nothing about it really before watching it, and I will put that in my rotation. I liked it.
There's lots of plot holes in it, but they spent $200,000 on it and it made millions. So,
But I didn't see, usually you can see in those low budget movies, what's going to happen. And I totally didn't see the doc and the wife.
That's true.
I mean, you knew she was kind of a flirt or whatever, but I thought Lance and Nora were going to, I don't know. I did not have that as the outcome. I mean, you knew someone was going to end up in the vat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a given. But their connection, the doctor and the wife, I didn't see it.
Didn't either. Well,
so
I mean, I kind of remembered as I was watching them, like, okay, I remember this. A skeleton comes out at the pit at the end and pushes someone in, but I didn't have it all together in my head. Exactly who and why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good. It's, hour, 15 minutes, well spent, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's a great movie to...
Great.
Well, no, for a Halloween, like for a Halloween night.
That's a good haunted house movie. It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's... If people haven't seen it, it's a good sit down, have a drink, some popcorn. Yeah, just sit down and watch it and appreciate it.
Out.
Yeah, appreciate it for what it is,
Yep. Anything you were pleasantly surprised?
Well, they got me. They didn't really.
You thought Annabelle was dead when she hung herself?
Well, not exactly, but I thought maybe she was in cahoots with Lance or something. I didn't put it in together with the doctor at all. And I couldn't really figure out how they invited all these different people. I mean, there was a lot of unknowns, but I thought it came together really well. I mean, there was some silliness like the skeleton, whatever, but I didn't see it coming. And I liked that about it.
If they remade it, well, they did remake it. I think in 1999, they remade it, but now all that would be CGI. I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't really want to.
Well, but yeah, well, true.
There's no Vincent Price. I'm not interested.
I do like him. I think
Nora.
He adds a creepy factor to every movie.
Carolyn Craig, that's who played Nora.
She did a good wide-eyed innocent.
This was her final film, Karen.
Why is that?
Well, she did TV shows after this, and then in the 1970s, she died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, apparently she got divorced and went to a deep depression. And December 1970, committed suicide.
Well, that adds to the creepiness.
Yes, and also the guy who played the doctor, the psychiatrist, he died on stage.
So he was a theater actor?
Yeah, while playing one of Mae West's husbands. Apparently she had multiple husbands in this play called Sextet. And he died on stage during that play.
Okay.
Weird.
It's bound to happen, I guess, once in a while.
Yeah, sometimes gotta happen. Anything else is there anything you were disappointed in?
Not really, but I do kind of wonder what was the purpose of the columnist. She really played no role whatsoever.
Nope.
I mean, she got blood dripped on her a couple times, but there was nothing for her to do. And I felt a little disappointed.
This adds to the cast, just like
I guess, but Lance had
Clue,
a big role.
You got
but the men had all had
Mrs.
big
White
roles. Lance and the doctor and Pritchard and Vincent Price.
As they should, Karen. It's 1959.
It almost seemed like I owe this person a favor. I'm going to put him in this movie, get him with some money or something. I don't know. And I don't know how Annabelle was floating outside the window, and the rope thing was weird, seemed impossible to do. And so little things like that.
Doug Henning.
Yeah, or David Copperfield. But overall, I wasn't disappointed too much. I mean, there were obvious plot holes, like I said. And what about you? What did you really like?
I did like the twist. I enjoyed that. I almost felt it was too soon, but I guess not, because it's only an hour and 14-minute long,
Yeah. The caretaker's wife looked good too. She was scary looking.
The house itself was pretty, the interiors were good, I thought.
Yeah.
And I think that was used the same house because there was lots of the same motifs on the inside that there were on the outside. You know what I mean?
I guess, but most of those houses are very modern, and the inside of the house was very old fashioned and heavy and European and, very heavy furniture and lots of wallpaper. And the outside was very clean and modern. So usually,
It
I
was,
don't
but
know.
every now and then you would see like a column or something with that same
Yeah,
design that was on the outside.
it was a disconnect for me, but
Yeah,
the
the
house and
exterior shots were shot in the historic Enos House, which was a Frank Lloyd Wright house. The bulk of the film interior were shot on sound stages, depicting the interior of the house in a combination of styles. So I guess that was smart of them to include those little things that I saw that looked like things on the outside. You know what I mean?
just was an odd exterior house, I think, for a haunted house. To each his own. It doesn't matter, you can be murdered anywhere. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a creepy looking house for you to be murdered.
No, but I thought it was well decorated and
It was extensively decorated.
yes.
What were you disappointed in?
Well, the skeleton. I saw the hole in its head before it even it was popping up.
I know it was bad.
Okay. But I guess in the end, that's part of the story that it's like a big puppet, right?
Well, yeah, except there would be two skeletons in there. But you're right. He would be prepared with the third skeleton, but strings would not survive acid. So
No.
I don't know what he was.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how he, yeah. I don't know
Did
how
it
he did
actually
that.
come out of the vat? I don't think I saw that. By the time she got down there, was it already out? Or did it
No,
climb out?
She saw
No, it came
coming
out
to the surface.
That's right, because that's where you saw the hole first.
The hole in the
hole
head.
in the head. Yeah, where
That's
the
the first
string
thing
would
I
be.
saw. I'm like, okay, that's got a big hole in its head. And then the more it came out, okay, the cranium's been cut.
Yep.
And there were, well, I don't know if they're plot holes, but the secret passage that goes nowhere.
Yeah, they didn't explore that.
Why is
They
there a
kind of-
3 feet gap in between the two closets? Who knows? Not important, really, I guess.
I guess we're just supposed to imply that's how the servant got there or the caretaker. But yeah, Lance disappears behind the wall and then just comes back and nobody says anything about where he was.
No.
Nobody talks about Annabelle's death. Nobody really worries that Nora shot someone. It's just, I guess, you're numbed into it when you're scared, maybe. I don't know. I still liked it though.
Yeah. 1959. And actually, they say that Hitchcock saw this and figured he could make his own low budget horror film called Psycho.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And make money. Because this made money and it was low budget. And at some point, the owner did fail to renew its copyright or whatever. So it did fall into the public domain.
That's why it's free.
I think that's why it's free.
Well, that was a mistake. Well, Hitchcock, if he was inspired by this, he upped the game.
So what'd you think about this skeleton key drink, Karen?
Well, let's say it's better than I thought it was going to be. I've
Me
never
too.
had ginger beer, so I was expecting it to taste more like beer, less like ginger. So
I get the whiskey immediately, but then the ginger and lemon come in,
Well, with the alcoholic ginger beer, I think it
I guess
mutes
that elderflower's in there somewhere, maybe mellows it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't taste that as much. The ginger might be a little harsh and the elderflower sweetens it a little, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's good though.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I would like to try it without the alcoholic ginger beer. Just to see.
Yeah, that's what I did. I don't need all that alcohol.
Surprisingly.
I did not have a choice. I didn't even know it was non-alcoholic until I'd already made the drink. So
Did you make it on YouTube already?
I did.
If you want to learn how to make all of the drinks on the Scary Spirits podcast, you can go to the YouTube channel and Greg demonstrates every drink every week.
I do. But please remember, I'm not a bartender. I just play one on the internet.
You must be getting better.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe not.
You'll get the general idea. And here at Scary Spirits, we encourage you to add your own flair.
Yeah.
You want a little more? Add a little more. You want a
That's
little
right.
less?
You
Add a
want
little less.
you want 1.5 ounces of whiskey instead of 1 1/4? You do
You know,
you. Go
Yeah.
ahead on.
Fly that freak flag. We support you.
All right, Karen, anything we learned today?
We learned that $10,000 in 1959 is $92,000 today.
Yes.
We learned way too much about acid dissolving bodies.
Special acid. It's special. Special acid.
Yeah.
Only dissolves soft tissue, Karen, like flesh and muscles and ligaments and whatnot. Quickly, too. Does it quickly.
Oh, it's magical.
Yeah, we learned the fate of poor Nora and poor psychiatrist.
Not Nora, Annabelle.
Nora.
Nora is fine. Nora
No.
shot.
The actress kills herself, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the character in the
No.
movie. I apologize. Yes, you're right. The doctor died on stage and Nora shot herself. Yes.
Correct.
I thought you were talking about in the movie.
And I did make a reference to It's Close to Midnight.
Right. Which does have Vincent Price in it, right?
Yes. And Vincent Price says that several times to people during the film. And that's the first line of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Which was a phenomenon back in the day. Did you ever learn the dance?
Fuck no.
No, I didn't either. But a lot of people did. I'm not coordinated enough to do something like that.
I didn't even watch it. I think I watched the damn video premiere and that was enough. I didn't really care to see it again.
What was on all the time if you watched?
I know, but like on MTV, it was like the big video premiere. It was like almost like a feature length thing, right? There was like a whole prequel to the video. And
yeah, back in the day, kids, MTV used to be known as music television, and they actually played music videos. I wish they did.
Like Thriller was like a half hour long in its full version or some shit.
Oh,
right?
is it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, it was groundbreaking for the time. There were a lot of special.
I think George Landis was involved.
Makeup and special effects, and it was a big deal.
Yep.
It was very expensive to make, and it was a phenomenon.
Yes. It was directed by horror director George Landis, who did An American Werewolf in London, and Michael Jackson contacted him after seeing that film to do this.
I can see that.
It was a 13-minute short film, I guess, is what it really is. But it was a huge budget compared to videos prior. Debuted December 2nd, 1983 on MTV. So yeah, George Landis directed it. There you go, kids.
Look it up.
All right, Karen, how many cocktails we give in this movie?
I don't know, 3?
3? Standard 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's good for its genre. It's not a great movie, but
it's entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's a solid 3.
Solid 3. Shit, it's free on Amazon Prime, so it's not really free. You still have to have Amazon Prime.
But it's out in public domain. I bet you can watch it on YouTube, and
probably
you can probably watch it on Google. It's probably somewhere. But I don't know.
You can watch it on Google. Well, you can watch it on its Wikipedia page. There's a link to watch it right there, the full film. All right, Karen, our upcoming movie and cocktail, I believe it is your choice.
It is.
What film have you chosen for us to watch the week before Halloween or the week of Halloween?
I've chosen the 1978 classic film, Halloween.
Halloween?
Yeah.
Halloween, the week of Halloween?
So original.
Okay. Any other particular reason other than it's Halloween?
I don't need another reason besides that.
Okay. Do we have a cocktail?
We do. We're going to go a little rogue, and we're going to do the jack-o'-lantern cocktail.
Okay. What am I going to need to make a fucking jack-o'-lantern cocktail?
That's nice. You're going to need 1 ounce of light rum, 1 ounce of dark rum, 1 ounce of 151, which they don't make anymore. So I guess you add
more light rum.
More. Yeah, whatever you want. 1 ounce Cointreau orange liqueur, 3 ounces of orange juice, 1.5 ounce of lemonade, 1/4 ounce of grenadine.
Okay. All right, Karen, anyone you need to thank this week?
I think I'll thank Melissa for leaving us a nice review on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
It really helps us out when we get a good review.
Melissa, thank you from my bottom of my darkened soul.
Your cold, dead heart.
Yes.
We always love a review.
Anyone else?
Well, all the people who are going to now rush to their computers to write a review.
And all those people are going to email us.
Yeah, and tell us how wonderful we are.
Tell you how delightful you are and yell at me.
Well, that's how I see it in my head, but that doesn't mean that's how it's going to play out.
All right. Well, we do need to once again thank Verse 13 for letting us use their music in the podcast. Once again, their info will be linked in the show notes. Anything else, Karen?
Please drink responsibly. Oh, and happy Halloween.
Yes.
Thanks so much for listening. Want to keep in touch? Check out our website, scaryspirits.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Scary Spirits Podcast. Find us on YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast. If you have questions or comments, you can email us at info@scaryspirits.com. To help us grow the podcast, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You know, we really do appreciate your support. And as always, please drink responsibly.